Welcome to the podcast, you all. Welcome back. I'm so glad to have you here. How's life treating you? Life is treating me very well. I want to tell you something really fun. At the time of recording of this episode, this is the 5th episode I am recording back to back. I sat down and in 3 hours, I recorded 5 episodes back to back to back. One of the worries that could have happened with a scenario like this is to mix ideas and to kind of like have them bleed into other episodes. And I promise you, as you listen to every one of these episodes, you're not even going to know they were recorded next to each other because the ideas are individualized and the topic is very constrained. And I am so proud of me. I really am. And I want you to learn to be proud of yourself as well, because this is something that can be very useful for everything else in life. Listen, you don't need to record 5 episodes to be proud of yourself. What is something you can be proud of yourself for that you overcome and that you could celebrate? I want you to think about that. Again, it doesn't need to be big, right? I have a bigger aspirations, so I'm always aiming higher and higher and higher. What is something? Have you just gotten the promotion at work? Have you been able to tune into yourself, tap into yourself more, and then really like that has helped you to control your spending more because now you're spending from your values versus just kind of reacting? I want you to be proud of yourself for that. Have you had a streak of money dates back to back to back where you haven't skipped in like a few weeks? Incredible. Let's celebrate that. I am so proud of myself for this work because I am full of ideas of what I wanted to share with you. It was just like bubbling. And so I wrote the script down and then I really thought about the ideas again and I reflected on them because that's how I anchor it inside of me, right? And then when I sat down to record, it just poured out of me. So this is the last episode that I'm recording on this series, and I am extremely impressed with myself. And then maybe later on, I think I'm going to do an episode on impressing yourself because I really just want you to understand. Stop underestimating all of the amazing things that you are achieving because this is the emotional state that gets you where you want to go, whether it's financially or in your life. Okay? So let's just really get excited about what we can celebrate, what's so amazing about us, and let's use that to propel us towards the future we're creating. Okay. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about all of the things you're working on except your money. And so in creating an amazing emotional state for you right now, I want you to receive this conversation with power because that's always all I'm after. Because here's what I've also observed with women that I work with and all the women that I talk to on a regular basis. There's so much going on in our lives. We're bombarded with more help, more knowledge, more tricks, more tips, more tools, right? And so you think your life feels overwhelming because there's just so much you need to fix. I mean, you may be trying to lose weight, get a promotion, plan a massive vacation, and also keep up with everything going on at home. So there's so much to work on. Your time, your habits, your routines, your goals. So what do you do? And I've seen this happen so many times. You try to fix all of it at once. I was literally in the DM talking to another business owner with this. She's like, yeah, I help people with this and that. But then also I am overwhelmed with all the things that I want to do because I'm always trying to attack them all at once. And we say that as if we're reporting the news, but we never end up fixing anything when we try to tackle everything at once. And the one place that would actually simplify everything, move the needle, like really create forward momentum, we avoid it. You really avoid it. You skip it. You're like, no, that's not a problem. No. No, no. The problem is all these other things that I need to attack, right? Your money. You think you're going to get to your money later when you finish up with all of these things that are over here. So, I just want to take a moment to really sit with this. Do you realize how messed up that is? Women will sit down and talk about anything, everything, your childhood trauma, your relationship wound, your anxiety, fears, even death. They'll go deep. They'll cry. They'll unpack everything. But the minute we talk about money, we talk about listing expenses on paper, finding a level of organization, seeing everything, looking at your numbers. It's like, I'll do it later. Yeah, you're right. I'll do it later. Avoidance, procrastination. You know what else you do? Instead of fixing your money, you have a whole list of things. And I'm going to go through the list as I wrote it down for you. You go to therapy. You sign up for emotional healing programs. You take courses on mindset, confidence, and self-worth. You journal. You work on manifestation. You learn the nervous system regulation. You do breath work. You do yoga. You do meditation. You do Pilates. You do retreats. You join productivity programs, time management programs. You hire more coaches to find your purpose. You read all the books. You listen to all the podcasts. None of what I just listed is wrong. I do most of those things. And most of those things, actually all of them, are very powerful. But let's be honest for a second. While you're doing all of that, your money is still a mess. Whether you make as much as you want, whether you make a lot of money, it's still a mess. Okay? It really is. Because you're trying to feel better without fixing the one thing that keeps creating the stress. And guess what? Your brain loves that. Your brain loves spinning in the same familiar pattern because it conserves energy. It's not actually exerting itself. You may feel like you're physically exerting yourself, but mentally you're not, right? Because all of those things actually feel productive. That's what I said. You're moving and moving and moving. And they don't actually require you to look at your money, at your numbers. I'm going to take it up a notch. Some of you even go as far as hiring an energy coach. Like, oh no, it's my energy. I really need to tap into it, build, and really like energetically produce more positivity in my life. So you want to use that. And then another reason you hire the energy coach is to unblock money blocks. Like you've heard this thing about, oh, we're going to do a session. It's really going to help you loosen up all your childhood trauma about money and create abundance. Again, nothing is wrong with that. Incredible, right? But if we're really real, you're trying to unblock energy without ever actually looking at the actual numbers. The real money block is not your energy, my friend. It's the avoidance. It's the running away from the actual numbers. The real energy shift starts when you open your bank account, when you look at the money. There's an episode where I describe the traditional avoidance versus sophisticated avoidance. They are both rooted in different emotions, but they're both a type of avoidance. And guess what? That's what leaks your energy. And so if you're looking to build your energy up, we need to stop the avoidance. Okay, so the energy doesn't come back up when you open your bank account and then the energy shift starts when you open your bank account, not when you light up a candle. In our in Money Academy, our program, In the financial journal, there is a section at the end of every single week where you have a guided page for money dates. Where I want you to do your money dates. I have a guide that's included in the financial journal. And one of the things that I say in there is that spending time connecting with your numbers is an elevated level of self-care. So when you think about your energy and you want to build it back up and you want to rejuvenate yourself, lighting up a candle instead of looking at your money isn't the answer. Because money is not vague. Money is not abstract. Money is exact, and it shows you exactly what's happening, what's coming in, what's going out, what you're prioritizing versus what you think you're prioritizing, what you've been avoiding versus what you think you're actually looking at. And so that's why your energy comes back, because you start to see the truth. Because you've convinced yourself that you don't need a budget. And so you tell yourself you're on top of things, that you roughly know what's going on, but that's being vague. And if you keep that in your head, what's really happening is two completely different reality. Between what you think is happening versus what's really happening, your brain doesn't know the difference. It's confused because your brain was never meant to store this kind of information. All of your expenses, future and past and current, it's not a storage unit. It's a processing tool. So when you keep your money in your head, you're not being efficient. You're just misleading yourself. So not creating a budget isn't actually conserving your energy. It's leaking your energy. Because having a spending plan, planning your money ahead of time is the foundation of wealth building. So let's simplify this process. Your life really runs on three powerful things: money, energy, and time. Money is not the most important thing of these three, but it's a very important thing. Time, can't get it back. Energy, you can rejuvenate it, but really you have a finite amount of energy. Money, renewable resource. There's plenty of money for you. You can always have more money. And money is way more exact than time and energy. So if your money is disorganized, your energy will be scattered. Because money, being the most exact out of all of those three, is what really takes the lead. So if your money is disorganized, your time follows. And your energy is going to feel scattered. And your time will always feel out of control. So while you're, like I said, you're hiring productivity coaches or programs and trying to work on your time management and work on your energy, try to do more self-care, go on retreats and stuff. All of this is in the desire to improve your life and how you manage your energy and your time. What you don't realize is because these two are abstract, money is what leads first. You have to attack the money, and then these two will just follow. You see what I mean? Because most women will try to fix time first. But time, as I said, is abstract. Money is more tangible. And so that's where it gets real. So even if money is the place that feels the scariest, and it should be the scariest because it's the most tangible, it tells you the truth flat out, right? There's no maybe, possibly. It's like straight up, here is what's really going on. And that's why it's scary. But the moment you put your numbers on papers, everything changes. You start to see what you've been avoiding, what you've been overspending on. If that's the case, maybe you have been underspending. Okay, I have clients who are dealing with underspending, under-earning. So it's not always just the overspending. Or sometimes and when I say underspending, sometimes you're spending, but not actually on what you want, what really matters to you. And that is underspending. So if you can identify these things in true honesty, in deep curiosity, then you can also see where your energy has been going, because that's going to help you identify, right? Because how you spend your money is how you spend your energy, whether it's conscious or not. And so if you're not intentional with your money, you're not intentional with your life. So don't try to fix everything at once. Remember, we're not here to feel overwhelmed. Start right here. List all your bills, present, current, and future. Track your spending for 30 days. Write down how you feel about every single expense. So in Money Academy, we use a money journal for this. The first page, I want you to list all your bills. And then I also want you to acknowledge how you feel about those bills, because there are emotions that come up when you're about to pay the utility bill, the car note, the mortgage. How do you feel? Let's lock that in. It's a one-time thing, you know now. And then every day throughout the month, you want to track your spending and then identify how you feel with every single expense. It's tedious. Yes, it is. And yes, at first you will exert more energy than usual. But that's the energy that you're exerting up front. The energy you're exerting because of avoidance is leaking in the back. You don't even notice it, but you're tired all the time. So you're leaking way more energy than you think. Except this time, I want you to be faced with the energy you're actually exerting on purpose. So it might feel a little bit more tiring and more like, oh, I don't really want to do this. It's really hard. And then you're going to just keep doing it because you're really trying to reconnect to your finances, to what actually moves the needle. So every time you're going to pay a bill, as I said, really write down how you feel about that. And that's all you need to track. Really pay attention to the bills you have now and what's coming up in the future. Write them down. Track your spending for 30 days. Track how you feel about that. And then the bills that you paid, track how you feel about them. That's it. I'm not even going to tell you to start budgeting. That's too soon, right? You should be living in the state of mind of budgeting is for other people. It's too soon. Let's create some level of connection here. Let's start with step by step. So I'm not asking you for perfection, no pressure, just awareness. It starts small. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to stop avoiding the one thing that organizes everything else. Start with your money. And you will notice your energy will shift and your time will clear up. And that is how your life feels lighter. All of a sudden, all the programs you thought you needed, you just needed to touch the money. You just needed to feel connected to your money. And then everything else follows. So I just really think that it's easy to get fooled by our brain by running around in circles instead of really pinpointing what's going to move the needle. And I've given you the exact process to awaken yourself and notice what you could do different, how you want to show up differently, and how showing up differently changes everything. I also want to take this opportunity to invite you to my masterclass, How to Spend Your Money Guilt-Free. This is an incredible container that I've created where I am inviting women to come in and have the hard, uncomfortable conversation about money. But by the time we're done, you feel light and airy and you understand that money can be fun. And now you know how to make that happen. Now you know what you need to move to start attacking money first and how that relates to everything in your life. So if you want to find out more, I host it Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you will need to go to greenwealthlegacy.com/confidence to find out more, or just look in the show notes of this episode and the link is right there. Until I see you for the next episode, go out and live your life on purpose. See you on the next episode.